Hey, what's going on everybody? How are you people doing here? So today I will be doing my Euro 2024 qualifiers prediction. That's right. So meaning that I'm going to be predicting who I think is going to win their groups and all that to qualify for the Euros. So anyways, let's get into this video, shall we? Because the draw had already taken place here, but it was very early for my time, so I was sleeping, so that's why I'm doing this a bit later. But anyways, for Group A, we have Spain, Scotland, Norway, Georgia, and Cyprus here. Now, obviously, right off the bat, I am going to pick Spain here to win first place in the group. But obviously, in this group here, it's going to be interesting for second place whether Scotland or Norway are going to clinch it. And Georgia, they might even have a chance too, because Georgia, they've been doing really well recently on the international level. But obviously, this group here might be a big challenge for Georgia here. And as for Cyprus, it's going to be interesting how Cyprus also does here. And looking at Norway, it would be crazy to see them clinch second place here in the group or even first place, because I feel like that Norway in this group have a very good chance of challenging Spain and Scotland for both that number 1 and 2 spot, especially with the recent way how Haaland's been playing. Now obviously on the international level, I think it's all going to come down to Erling Haaland and players like Martin Odegaard as well to see if they can steer Norway in their quest to qualify for the Euros. So for second place, I think Norway is going to be the one to come out second in the group here behind Spain, if I'm being honest. Normally I was going to say Scotland or Georgia, but something tells me that Norway, they could actually get it done here and maybe finally qualify for a tournament under Erling Haaland. And for Group B, we have the Netherlands, France, Ireland, Greece, and Gibraltar. So normally here, I would pick France to win this group, but I'm going to say the Netherlands. So I'm going to say that I think the Netherlands can finish first in the group here, just because I really like the Netherlands' chances. They've been doing really well recently as a team on the international stage, especially the way how they were able to clinch first place in the UEFA Nations League. Like, I'm fully convinced that we could see another Dutch golden generation on the horizon here in the next couple of years. So that's why for number 1, I'm picking the Netherlands to win this group here. And obviously for France, I have them finishing second place here in the group. Now, call me crazy for making this prediction here, but I feel like that the Netherlands football team truly could be another powerhouse, or if they are a powerhouse, if you consider them, just because of how well they've been recently doing on the international level. And I can't wait to see how they are going to perform at this year's World Cup. And for Group C, we have Italy, England, Ukraine, North Macedonia, and Malta here. So obviously for Ukraine and North Macedonia, they got drawn up in a pretty somewhat difficult group here with Italy and England. However, looking at the Ukraine national team here, you don't want to sleep on them. I feel like that Ukraine definitely could challenge for that number 2 or number 1 spot along with North Macedonia here. But if I'm being honest on who I think is going to win this group, I'm going to say I have England finishing number 1 here in the group and Italy number 2. And for Group D, we have Croatia, Wales, Armenia, Turkey, and Latvia. Now, obviously, looking at Turkey's football team, I think they definitely have what it takes to challenge for this group here. But for number 1 here, I'm going to say that I think Croatia will finish number 1 in the group here. And for number 2 here, normally I would pick Wales or Armenia, but just for here, I'm going to say I think Turkey's going to finish second in the group. And for Group E, we have Poland, Czech Republic, Albania, Faroe Islands, and Moldova. So obviously, one interesting part about this group here is that Poland got matched up against Albania again, just like how they did in their World Cup qualifiers for 2022. So it's going to be interesting to see the Poland and the Albania games, especially with the way how Armando Broja has been playing recently for Chelsea. And one other thing I'm interested and curious about in this group is wondering how well will Albania do. Will Albania have a chance to qualify for the Euros again like how they did for Euro 2016 or no? Because obviously it would be really fun to see Albania qualify for another tournament, just because at Euro 2016, I think they did a hell of a job. And you look at players like Armando Broja, it makes you wonder, is he going to be the guy for the future of Albanian football to see if he can help Albania be a good team? But obviously for number 1 here in this group, I'm going with Poland here. That's right. I think Poland can finish out and come on top here in the group. So for number 2, I think it's going to be between Czech Republic and Albania to see who can qualify. But hey, if Albania can perform really well on the international stage, if they can be consistent enough, then I think they have a chance to finish number 2 in the group. I'm going to say that I think Albania could do the impossible here and finish second in the group. And for Group F, we have Belgium, Austria, Sweden, Azerbaijan, and Estonia. So for number 1 here, I'm going with Belgium here. And as for number 2, I think that Sweden can finish second in the group. And for Group G, we have Hungary, Serbia, Montenegro, Bulgaria, and Lithuania. So obviously, I think that this group here is very predictable predictable. And for number 1, I'm going with Serbia. And for this group here, I think that Serbia got matched up in a very easy group here because I definitely imagine they will qualify finally for the Euros. So after failing to qualify for Euro 2020, I think that this is going to be one great chance for Serbia to finally get a chance to qualify for the Euros. And looking at the way how Serbia has been performing recently on the international stage, I think that this is the easiest path and opportunity they have to finally qualify for a Euros tournament. So I definitely think that Serbia, without a shadow of a doubt, will finish number 1 here in this group, just because I feel like we are currently witnessing a Serbian golden generation. Possibly for the first time since, I'd have to say, 1998, which was the last time Serbia's football team was actually really good, when they were still part of Yugoslavia, I think. So yeah, number 1 without a doubt, Serbia. And as for number 2, I think it's going to be a challenge between Hungary and Montenegro. But for number 2 here, I'm going to go with Hungary here, because you look at Hungary's football team, they've been doing really well at the UEFA Nations League, that I think they will finish second in the group here. And for Group H, we have Denmark, Finland, Slovenia, Kazakhstan, Northern Ireland, and San Marino. So it's going to be really fun to see the Denmark and the Finland games again. But if I'm going to be honest here, I think without a doubt Denmark, they will finish first in the group. As for number 2, I think it's going to be a challenge between Finland and Slovenia on who's going to get that number 2 spot. But for number 2, I'm going to say Finland here. I think Finland definitely have what it takes to qualify for the Euros again. So for my final prediction, I think Denmark will finish first and Finland second. And for Group I, we have Switzerland, Israel, Romania, Kosovo, Belarus, and Andorra. Now, obviously, for number 1 here in the group, I'm going with Switzerland here, just because as long as they got key players like Jan Sommer, Xhaka, Shaqiri, Seferovic, I think that Switzerland's football team will always be a very competitive team. So definitely for number 1, I'm going with Switzerland. But for number 2, it's going to be very fun to see who can clinch that second spot, because for number 2, I think it's going to be a challenge between Israel, Romania, and Kosovo to see who's going to get that second spot. But if I'm being honest here, for number 2, I'm going to go with Israel here. I think that Israel definitely have what it takes to qualify for the Euro. So for number 2, I'm going to say Israel. And for Group J, we have Portugal, Bosnia, Iceland, Luxembourg, Slovakia, and Liechtenstein. So right off the bat here, I'm going with Portugal finishing number 1 here in the group. And as for number 2, I think Bosnia have a really good chance to qualify for Euro 2024. It would be fun to see Bosnia qualify, which is why for number 2, I'm going to say Bosnia here. I think they are going to definitely clinch that second place. So yeah, ladies and gents, this is my prediction here. Let me know if you agree with my predictions, or if you don't agree, please let me know why in the comment section below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content.